Roll call?
Counselor Lehman?
Here.
Counselor Matthew?
Here.
Counselor Larson?
Here.
Counselor Keegley?
Here.
Mayor Swanson?
Here. Report from department heads. I don't see Public Works tonight, or ambulance. Engineering or city attorney. You're just sitting in for fun tonight?
I'm just having a good time.
Okay, all right. Long range.
This is what I do for fun. I won't be here at the next meeting, so I thought I should come now.
Very good.
Good.
Thank you, Todd. Long range planning and zoning.
Second week of July.
Recreation board will meet next Monday again. Library board. Do we have minutes from them yet? They had met last Thursday.
Right.
Yeah. Okay.
I thought I put them in the binders.
Okay. No. I don't think we have their minutes. Put them in the next one. Okay. Beta, end of the month.
Wednesday.
Sheriff.
Nothing other than the squad unless I'm going to rehash that at all.
Okay.
So,
That'll be, is it? It's not up
back,
in.
it's done.
Oh, it is done?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Okay.
back on the road yesterday, so.
All right. Clerk's report?
I've been sending out quite a few blight letters and then working with our deputy to follow up, so been working on that. Also want to let you know 2 of our weed whips are broken, so Trent's working on getting those fixed.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the squad car, I was gonna talk about that, but it's fixed and it was under warranty, so there's no charge.
Beautiful.
What was wrong with that?
A valve.
Right, valve, yeah.
And that's all I have.
All right. Council additions to the agenda? Citizens Forum. Anyone wishing to speak to the council? Russ?
Yeah.
Do you speak now or?
That's on the agenda.
Oh, do you want to wait till the agenda item comes up?
To the First Lutheran Church.
Yeah.
Okay, you can wait till we get to the agenda item.
Good.
All right. Consent agenda minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the regular city council meeting of June 7th.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Claims?
Make a motion to accept the total claims of $82,028.13.
Support.
I'll support.
Yeah, you got it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Business. Ed, you're number 1
Saw that.
at the June 7th meeting. Yes,
What time?
you approached us about the property adjoining yours, and it sounds like you had good luck at the auction.
Yeah.
You were able to buy the property, and you didn't have anybody bidding against you, which is always nice.
That's always nice, yeah.
Yeah. So you would like the council to do something as far as the lien,
The assessment, yes.
the assessment, and according to our attorney, we can do whatever we want about the special assessment on the property. What is it that you're asking for, Ed?
For it to be dropped a little bit. I mean, like I say, $13,000 a lot to pay for 2 city lots, especially when you have them for sale for bigger lots for $2,500, $5,000. I understand there's stipulations with those lots, but I mean, I'm not asking to get these lots for $5,000 total. I know that's out of the question. But I really didn't want to pay, like I said at the last council meeting, any more than $8,000 to $9,000 for 2 lots. And the only reason I'm willing to go that much is because they are adjoining my property.
Yeah. And the only reason we were waiting was to see, 1, if you were going to get the property.
Yeah.
And then 2, to decide what we wanted to do about it. The assessment is $8,532, and that's because the city had to spend that money to tear down the old building that was on the property.
Yeah, the one that St. Louis County let somebody else go in and start tearing down, and
Yeah, the whole big mess that got left on our table.
Yeah, created a hazard there.
Right.
Yes, it happened.
There was cats living underneath the house,
Yep.
there was skunks under there,
Yep,
and I had kids at home at the time, and I wasn't,
right.
it wasn't safe for anyone in the town. you know.
No, no. Well, if we drop the assessment to 4, would you be happy with that? It'd be better than half of what's here.
Yeah, that would be, I'd be happy with 4. That'd be 8,500.
What would you guys think about that?
I'm good with it.
I have no problem with it.
Well, I don't have a problem with it.
No problem at all.
I'll make a motion that we let Ed purchase it for $4,000, or pay the assessment, and we'll pay the rest.
The 4,000?
Support.
Any further discussion?
Yeah, how would we set up a payment on this?
How do we do that, Diane?
It gets certified to the county,
Okay,
and then it would go on Ed's property taxes, or you could pay it all. You could
Put it
pay
in
the
my
city.
taxes.
Would that be,
How many years would that be?
usually it's 10-year
10.
deal, the assessments.
yeah,
So in other words, $400 a year was what it
Yeah,
would be.
that's not a problem.
okay.
So it'd be like 200 in May,
May.
200 in November. Yeah, that's not an issue.
Okay. All
Unless
in-
you guys want to pay my tabs.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, Ed,
Very much.
you
You
bet.
bet, Ed.
All right, 101 State Street. The people who now own the property would like to remove the curbing and put a driveway in. They were converting the old house into a garage. They'll do it at their own expense, but they would need our permission to go ahead and do that.
Are they going to maintain some form of a gutter there to keep the water going to the end of the street, or?
This would be questions we'd have to ask them on that. I understand where you're coming from on that.
Yeah.
Paul.
Yep.
I don't know if we'd be planning to put a half curb in there, or if it's gonna be like a regular driveway, because we were gonna specify you had to use concrete to do it.
Oh.
Everything had to be done with concrete,
Yeah, then they should be able to
yeah.
maintain some type of,
Well, we could do it with the stipulation that he does it with only concrete and that there be some
Yeah.
sort of a lip on there to help
sure.
with the water flow.
Make sure that the water flow is still where it's supposed to be. And, yeah, otherwise with those stipulations, I don't have a problem.
Can I have a motion?
I'll make that motion that they use concrete and make sure that the water flow continues past.
Okay.
I'll support it.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, next door, they're requesting a fence to meet up to City Hall. If you looked out there, it is behind that stairways that comes out the side over here, so.
I went and talked to Terry the other day about it, and out front here where that fence comes is where they're gonna run their, one part up, and on this end of the garage is where they're gonna run the gate up by the building. So all they need is our permission from the city in order to bring that fence up to the building here at City Hall. Which I don't have a problem with, I mean, it's just.
They maintain the grounds behind it
Right,
anyway.
Right, yeah.
Plus there'll be a gate on it, so.
And
Yep.
I think that would be part of the motion too, is that they continue to maintain both sides of the fence.
And she was aware also, I mentioned to her, in case they ever do any work on this building as far as with the brick or anything like that, and the fence was in the way, the contractors who's ever doing it or whatever would have to be able to maybe remove it for a while and put it back. And so I made sure she knew about that, and so.
So all of that should be stipulated in our agreement to allow them to do it, so there's never a question about that when the time
Right,
comes.
yeah.
Also move on that.
All right,
Support.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Lutheran Church utility request, I guess this is what you guys are here about. The Lutheran Church is asking us to adjust the May utility bill. It was extremely high. It sounds as though there may have been a running toilet for a week or so or something inside.
Not that we're aware of.
not that
Not
we're-
that we're aware of.
The bill, we, normally the church has been paying something like $70, $80 normal a month.
Yeah,
The last month, it went up to $172. And of course, we're a small struggling church. But the main thing I wanted to bring up into the council, remind them that how many years did the church pay sewage to the city? And we never connected to the sewer line.
yeah, but whatever you did down there, we have to live with now.
Nothing to bring up right now.
But I thought I'd bring that up as a reminder.
The thing that bothers us that are on the council for the church is that if this reading came up and somebody saw it, some lights should have gone on and
Well,
told
certainly,
us
yeah.
so that we didn't get this bill and go like this, but we didn't receive, someone asked if we did not receive a letter. Our mail is picked up every day and given to the proper people.
Right.
So it's just like a kick in the butt for us, and we had,
Well, the May reading,
we don't use that part.
right.
Is there somebody out at the church every day?
Just about every day.
Okay.
Not like for 8 hours, that someone's there, but there's someone there frequently enough. And in May, we would have been there more because we had our after-school program. So
The guys just read the meters once a month, and then they send out the bills, Gigi.
I know, but do they read it an estimate, or is this an estimate?
No.
Your meter,
It's automatic.
they're reading, so
Okay.
it's correct.
Okay,
And when we do get the reads from the guys, we print out reports and we go through them and we scan for high reads or low
Yeah.
reads or no reads. And, there's probably at least 2 to 3 times a month, or 2 to 3 reads that we have high readings on, and so we try to notify people when we catch them.
all right.
Was your June bill?
That was my question, I guess, is that it seem like the usage is
Back down to
to
normal?
normal?
The guys, well, they haven't
Right.
taken meter reads yet, but they have gone, they did go and check.
Yeah, they came and checked and everything, but
And it's normal, that's why.
Everything was working
running a
proper?
toilet or something.
now we just have to ask. We don't
Weren't
have.
you there
Well,
watching it?
oh yeah, but the concern here would be, if it spikes like this, is it gonna happen to you again? And if we haven't found out what the culprit is, then, it's likely that you may have another surprise waiting down the road unless we find out what caused this, yeah,
That's what we're more concerned about.
Yeah.
right.
There would have to be something in the building.
I think that's why they figured it had to have been a toilet running, because they couldn't find any other reason for it to have spiked like that.
Is there any kind of outside water
No,
faucet?
Question?
no.
None?
And you don't have any leaking into the basement? You don't have water issues in your basement at the church? Okay, all right.
All right,
Well,
I will tell them.
yeah, I hope when you get your bill this month, it'll be like a normal bill.
Maybe it'll be half of what it usually is.
Well, in July, when you get your June bill.
Well, if that bill does come back down to normal, then that's gonna tell you that something was running, and it had to run from Sunday to Sunday.
They figured it had to have been about a week's worth to cause that much.
Yeah, so they figured it'd be about a week's worth of something running, and they said they've kind of figured out about the usage on a toilet when it's running, and it figured out pretty close to a toilet running all week long.
Okay,
Can happen.
I know. Okay, just-
I've come into that before at ours. So they're asking for an adjustment of $95.18 on their account for their May billing. We could make a one-time adjustment if you guys would like, but I'm concerned. I just don't want to see this. I hope you guys aren't going to see this happening again either, that there isn't some hidden problem going on.
The only thing I have, if we do cut it in half or whatever, then it's gonna open it up for anybody in town to come in and say, we had a high water bill, would you cut it down for us too? I would think, and when I first made council, I sat in did a commission meeting with one of the residents, and I thought at that time that there was something in the paperwork that said that we won't cover people's,
Was that frozen
that
lines?
was a frozen pipe that.
Okay, that was frozen pipes.
I don't know if it's different for water, but
Well, I think this is kind of a unique situation. I understand you're concerned about setting a precedent, but I think we've done these things in the past where we've made adjustments when there seems to be something out of the ordinary going on. It's up to you guys what you think we should do with this.
that's my thoughts, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to see this continue either, you know, if the bill's gonna keep going up, but I wouldn't have a problem with an adjustment, you know, once, but I do understand where Councillor Lehman's coming from on that also.
Because when you make an adjustment too, that means everybody else helps to pick up the tab, as we still have to pay these sewer fees and rates.
Because I had a whole toilet run for a whole month at my house and I had to pay it.
You didn't even come and ask, did you?
Didn't come in.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think the thing of it is, with our people, is they just wanted us to come to be sure that it had been addressed. They're not looking for a handout or anything, you know what I'm saying, but just so that we both talked about, you know, there was, whatever happened, and we won't be not letting you come to our church because you wouldn't pay our water.
Just as a suggestion or a thought here, when Sunday, when everything is done there or what have
We
you,
have a sign up. Please check everything.
well, the thing is that valve easy to shut off for the water to the toilet?
I don't know. Is it?
Yeah, there's a valve on there.
Is it easy to shut off?
Has it been used at all?
Yeah.
Or is it one of those that are stuck?
Calcified.
If you shut it off and someone comes in, you gotta use the toilet. and
That's true.
turn it back on.
That's
You got
true.
everyone playing with it,
Yeah.
it's a busted
Yeah.
valve, and then you're in trouble.
You're right, yeah,
Right.
that's true.
Yeah.
How about splitting it? Promote.
We'll help them out by splitting the bill with them.
What are you talking, making the bill
Split the 90.
$50 more instead of 95? Then the city pick up the other 40, 45?
Just put the 95/18 in half.
Because the total bill was 95.18?
More.
No, 171.
171, that was 95.18 more.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
170, 175.
Well, do we want to,
I'll make a motion that we cover half the water bill.
Half of the overrun.
Right,
Half of the 95.18?
right.
Support.
any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried?
I have a question.
Yes,
the only-
Gigi?
What time of the month, when are these meters read so we can be kind of, you know, watching? and-
Usually like the
We're
first
alert or-
first week of the month, isn't it?
The last
Or
day
last-
of the month.
the last day of the month.
If it's a Monday through Friday. Otherwise, say the end of the month is, you know, the 30th is on a Saturday, it'd be Friday the 29th.
Okay, just so.
And this, hopefully, that this next bill will be normal, so then that'll more or less kind of show.
Yeah, give us up there again.
Then we'll have to look a little deeper, there gotta be a problem there then someplace.
None that we're aware of.
Yeah.
No, they're good. Thank you.
Okay, all right. Signage on South Memorial Drive, we have a resident who's requesting slow children at play sign over there. That sounds like they've got some people zipping down their street pretty good, and In fact,
The new streets, nice and smooth, people are going a little fast.
Mr. Tar, do those signs usually have any effect? Do they work or not? Or you're better off with a speed limit sign on that street?
What is the speed limit when it says slow?
Well, it's still 30.
It's still 30, yeah.
So it's a reasonable suggestion to people that there's kids playing, you might want to slow down. The residential's going to be 30 unless you guys posted it otherwise.
We could post it at 15. That's stretch there with a lot of kids there and stuff.
Yeah, especially near the park too.
We don't have to jump to any special hoops to do that.
no, we don't.
We can
The city
post
can
that.
decide on its own signage,
And that way the deputy sheriff has a leg to stand on if it's posted.
right?
Well, even so, I mean, on the residential, it's
Yes.
30. Anything over that, you can write it, but, yeah.
But
But
even
if
if,
you want them specifically to slow down, yeah, I mean, you want it under 30 then.
yeah, I mean, if we put up a sign there that said 15, well, then if they weren't obeying that, then they could be picked up for it.
Right, as they could at over 30 too, but.
Certainly.
You know,
Yeah.
I think part of the problem that they're not used to anyone actually driving 30 on that street. And now that it's new,
Yeah.
they actually do.
Well, and that's the thing is, I mean, if you're standing on the sidewalk,
30's
30's
fast.
pretty fast.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, there was actually an accident over there the day that he
That's
called.
what we had heard, yes.
That a kid had actually gotten hit on a bike or something.
Oh, really?
on that strip.
hear
That's what
nothing
he
about it?
said when he called up here about this,
We
so,
should probably get around the park and stuff.
yeah.
It'll be 15, because we got the skating rink there too.
That's kind of on that other road where, but it's all in that same area, so
I'd say within the area of the park and the streets.
maybe post it on both of those? That wouldn't be a bad idea,
Wouldn't be a bad idea, right?
to make that whole area a 15-mile-an-hour area. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. The Minnesota Association of Small City Dues, our annual membership is $570.
Make a motion that we go ahead and pay the dues for this MAOSC dues. I mean, I don't know if any of you got the emails, but they do a lot of work during
Oh, yes.
legislature's time.
Oh, remember we had him here last year?
Yes, we did.
Yeah, to see what they were doing.
And like I got the emails, I subscribe to their thing, and all the work that they do, it's quite a bit, so it's pretty good.
Beneficial to us.
I would think. Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, Sturgeon River Chapter of the Minnesota Deer Hunters Association is asking for application for exempt permit
Again.
again.
Okay. I'll make a motion that we grant the Sturgeon River Chapter of Minnesota Deer Hunters Association the lawful gambling permit for September 17th.
I'll support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. The city has their election judges. I'd like the council to appoint the following people for election judges at a rate of $9 an hour, except for Terry and Diana. This comes from Diana, our city clerk. So we have our list of judges. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the two of you. Is that usually about how many we have up
Usually
there?
we have 8, because we have to have 4 for each shift, but I would like to have 9 in case somebody gets sick or something happens. So I want somebody to be
A backup?
trained, a backup, and on the evening shift, we really could use a 5th person.
Okay.
So, and we do have the funds budgeted for this.
For the election.
I'll make a motion that we appoint the 4 named people here for the election judges.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. All right, Kids Peace would like to know if the city would mow at the school and snow plow the handicap entrance. I think because of our lease agreement with them It's their responsibility to take care of these things.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we would want to take that on at this time. Our guys are pretty busy as it is.
Can I mention one thing?
Sure.
If we did do this, could we charge them extra for that?
Of course.
But our guys haven't got the time to do it.
I mean, it would be last on the list and stuff, but if we charge them $40,000 a year to cut the grass and plow the snow.
Yeah. I don't think that would go over. but-
Suppose that, then they don't, then they don't.
I think that's a really.
I mean, trying to look at getting more money off them, I mean,
I think the more
Not a
we
bad
stay
idea.
out of this, the better, because
Yeah.
let them take care of their own,
that's just my thought.
their own responsibility.
If you, Stuart, want to make a motion to offer them services at some amount that you think would be beneficial to the city, we can always make a proposal. All they can do is say yes or no. I don't think that that's totally out of the realm of, I like it, I like that.
Well, but our city, if they accepted it, our city employees would not be too happy with us.
Well, we'll give them a little bonus out there extra.
To get the 40,000, yeah.
Yeah.
What's that, Paul?
Probably takes them 3 days to mow.
Well, I wouldn't doubt it, plus you have to keep all those entrances clear
Yeah.
from the snow.
Yeah, just not that one.
Yeah, I think we want to encourage them to
Yeah.
get somebody in there as soon as possible, so this wouldn't be helpful towards that end. So do we need to make a motion to
To take no action.
take no action? Does that come up at our next meeting then, if we take no action?
Table it.
If we table, then we have to bring it up, okay. Can I have a motion to take no action?
I'll make a motion, we take no action on the lawn maintenance, snow plowing and kids' fees.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Okay, there's DTED money that Diana, you've been working on for some time to get this set right.
Correct. We have a revolving loan fund, back quite a ways, a few years ago, and Kids Peace paid us every month. And back in 2010, we had a significant portion of the funds in our account, and Deed allowed us to give it to St. Louis County for their revolving loan fund, because we just don't have the manpower to be giving out loans. And you can't keep the money, you have to loan it out.
It's technically not our money.
It's not our money, it was a grant from Deed.
Right.
So back in 2010, we sent over $120,000, which the county then loaned out for economic development.
Right.
And then Kids Peace paid the loan off in October of 2014. And so prior to Mike retiring, he was working with Deed, trying to get permission to send the balance of the loan over to St. Louis County again, and we finally just got permission from Deed to do that.
So we can finally get this out of,
So, yes, we would send all the funds, the remaining funds over from the loan repayment, and we would be done with the revolving loan.
so,
And that's that total here, that 53,000?
Yes,
Okay.
plus whatever interest for the month of June.
Right.
do we make that motion separate from the resolution then? Or do we just make
I
a
think just
motion
approving the
to
resolution.
approve the resolution 1617? Can I have that motion?
I'll make a motion to accept Resolution 1617.
I'll support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Can I have the roll call?
Counselor Lehman?
Yes.
Counselor Matthew?
Yes.
Counselor Larson?
Yes.
Counselor Kuechly?
Yes.
Mayor Swanson?
Yes. All right. Library Parks combination position. Just something that I've been looking at for some time, and I was hoping that you might all have a chance to consider this. Mountain Iron has a position similar to this, and I've been over there and talked with Sally and talked with Dan, who's been our librarian for a little over a year. He's done a really good job here. But with these part-time positions that offer no benefits, it's hard to retain good help. And in our town, I guess we have to decide what we want Buhl to be, because our recreation board kind of fell apart this spring, and just trying to get board members on is very difficult. And do we want to have special events in our community? Do we want to try and bring the citizens of Buhl together in public places? That would be part of the job of this position if it were created. Now, the library board has the funds in place that they feel they could pay 75% of wage and benefit. The other 25% would go to the recreation board, which wouldn't quite have enough funds for this year, so we would have to move some from general fund in there if we were going to try it. And I guess that's what I'm wondering, if you'll consider on a probationary period trying a position like this to see how, and if it benefits our community to have somebody who, like Sally in Mountain Iron, puts together activities, brings people together, is responsible for making things happen. Terry had brought us a newspaper clipping about the music in the parks that they're doing this year over in Gilbert, where again they're having a band play in their pavilions and bringing out the neighborhoods and that sort of thing. We've got a couple of bars in town, but we don't, and we have a library, we have a senior center. Our parks and recreation, those are areas where everybody can come together, no matter what their age, and to get families together. Our community has kids going to 5 different school districts, so a lot of people don't even know their neighbors in town, and I guess those are the reasons that I got to thinking about this, and the possibility of losing Dan isn't one that I'm particularly happy to hear, because he's been a valuable employee. He's also been trying to get into the grant writing class at the college, and if he can get into the grant writing, he would add that skill set to the city. And if we could have somebody within the city who could write grants, that could be just invaluable to us. I'd want to do it on a probationary, we'd have to, because this would be something different. Try it for 6 months, a year on probation, and if we find that it's really not something we feel is worth the additional funds, it's a position that could be cut back to its previous states. But
once you go full-time, you can cut it back to a part-time position.
you could eliminate this position and then just go back to a library position.
Where would the Parks and Recs get the additional money?
They would have to take it from the general fund for this year, and then we'd have to budget for it next year. One of the other things we could consider doing is cutting the wages back a little bit at the start if we're going full-time with benefits. And that would help save a little bit on this end of the year part of this too.
Well, yeah, like you said, it comes down to either decreasing other departments or raising the levy,
For next year, yes.
you know?
Unless Dan finds ways, and he's been very creative at our library at finding funds, finding donations, ways to having events that end up just costing us less than what we've paid in past years. He's saved us money at the library with some of the different things he's done. I don't know if you want to speak to this at all, Dan?
Well, for example, our events budget, we have like a $2,500 budget. I'm gonna do all the events that we did last year at probably about $100 or $200. So there's gonna be an extra $2,300. See, our budget is made for last year, and we're not gonna spend all of that budget. I've gotten donations for reading programs. Our events that we have are sponsored now by the Friends of the Library Board. We're doing a lot of fundraisers now. We're adding money in. Our book budget, I've matched our book budget with grants already this year. So the way our budget is set out at the library, we have to spend so much money to remain a member of the Arrowhead Library System. And a lot of that money is pushed off into certain events and things like that, and we aren't necessarily spending it, and we're putting it into, what do we put it into our
Capital fund.
our capital fund, and our capital fund is pretty high. Right now, because the way the budget is, there might be something from the general that the general's gonna have to kick in, but I feel like the library board, or the library budget next year is gonna already cover most of the brunt of it. The rec board, we can do the same thing with the rec board. When we have volunteers and we piggyback on top of other events. My reading program is going along with the same reading program that they're running through the state fair. So they're throwing in a lot of the prizes. A lot of the prizes are donations. And last year, when I first started, these were all things that I had to go and buy prizes for the kids. Now the Library Friends Board is really kicking in a lot of stuff. So I think it might seem like it's going to be expensive at first, but I think with proper budgeting next year, I don't think it's going to be as much of a burden on the city or other budget as it might appear right now.
Diane, I got a question.
Yes.
That first paragraph here states that for the full-time employee was 75% of the time, 30 hours a week, allocated to the library, and 25% of the time to the Parks and Recreation. But the Parks and Recreation money needed is always more than the library money. Why is that?
Because the library already budgets for 28 hours.
Okay, that's why I'm missing that,
So it's just
sorry.
additional 2 hours of
All right.
plus 75%
Plus
of
the
benefits.
benefits. Yeah.
So he would be in charge of the Parks and Rec
Right,
people. I mean,
yeah.
I think to a point we need somebody in charge of
Yep.
Oh,
them people.
yeah.
After what we've been through, I think that was part of this whole deal. Yeah,
I wouldn't mind seeing this under a probation.
He would kind of act as like a director of the Park and Recs.
oh yes.
Yeah.
And the campground and be in charge and overseeing the events that happen. You know, it's so hard to get volunteers, and when you do get volunteers, nobody wants to be the one in charge.
Yeah.
So if you have somebody in that position who's already the responsible one in charge and has seen these events through, they flow easier and new people come in with less hesitation because they know that they're working with somebody who knows how to do these things.
I think I'd like to see somebody like this, a director towards our Park and Recs.
If we did this, would we have to sit down prior and figure out monetary stuff and exactly what we're going to do as far as monies and what the wages and what's going to happen and what the cost of the benefits are going to be?
That was, I guess, my question. Do these prices or numbers include benefits?
Yes,
Yeah.
but they include it as they are right now.
Dental life.
Current wages, current premiums. It doesn't take into account any increase in premiums for medical, dental, or wages. So this is as of today's prices.
Yeah, granted, we got some good people on the rec board right now, the three that we have on there, what have you. And it'd be nice if they had, direction from somebody.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good thing.
Yeah, we could try it for 6 months on.
Yeah.
Under a probationary period, why not?
And then we can.
I just don't want to have to increase the levy. That's my major sticking point. But
Right.
I think Dan has enough sense to find the monies in the right areas and cost cutting and has done a marvelous job already. So I'd be willing to give it a try.
And the other part of that is if he can get into grant writing for us.
Yes.
That could really help the city out a lot.
Well, of course, then Dan would have to agree on this end of it too, that this would be probationary for 6 months. At the end of 6 months, we have a right to make a final decision on it. one way
Or
the
to
other.
extend it an additional 6
Yes.
months. I think we ought to be able to go out a year because that would see us through all the programs, the summer programs and the winter programs. So we see what a full year looks like. If at 6 months we're not happy and don't see any benefit to this position, it can go back to where it was before. If we think, well, let's give it a little longer and see, we can always go out the year. We could start it, the beginning of July. Then there'd be a half year left here. That would see him through the 4th of July event and the beach blast and whatever other things he can get on with.
And the big bicycle deal coming through there and everything else. And, and of course, at the end of 6 months, Diana would have all the figures, or Terry would have all the figures for us too on what the cost would be.
Right.
How it's been going.
I'll make a motion that we go ahead with this library and Park and Recs combined.
Do we want to go with the $15 an hour? Both of these positions are $12.50 to $15 job. The library, he's been there for over a year, so he's at 15 there right now. I would suggest that we keep the wage the same for both, but if we're bringing him in with full-time benefits, would you be okay if we started you at 14, Dan?
1450?
14.50? You'd be okay with 14.50?
I wouldn't, yeah, I'm fine with whatever the council decides.
It would help at least for the remainder of this year, since it's not budgeted for if we start just slightly less. So if we just went from 14 for the remainder of the year.
Whatever the council decides.
Both?
For both.
You mean there's double wage here?
For both departments, it'll have to be the same. We've got to make it the same for both. Because then that way, when they're booking it out, 75% is paid
Oh, I
here
see
and
what you're
25 is
saying.
paid
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
It's the same.
But the total wages are $14 an hour.
Yes.
Well,
6-month probation?
6-month probation with a possible extension of 6 more.
We have the motion.
We have a motion?
Support.
Any further discussion?
I just have one question, just out of curiosity or legally, can we do this without posting for a new job or?
We can. It's not completely a new job. It's adding to an existing job is what it's doing. And Mountain Iron did the same with Sally. She went from just being a part-time librarian to full-time with benefits, taking on all of the special events over there. So
that's not set in stone. We were talking about that today, and it's just a thing that if you want to, we can post stuff. We don't have to.
Yeah, I just
we're
wanted
not
to be sure
required by
that
law.
Good question.
doing something I shouldn't. I don't have a problem otherwise.
That's true, isn't it, Todd?
Don't have to post it.
Okay.
Beautiful.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. This position will start July 1st. All right, utility rate increases.
Yeah.
We've got to increase our water and sewer just to, well, it's by law. We have to pay for what we've got, and we're not making it. We came up short last year, so we will be increasing water and sewer $2 for each account, so it'll be $4 a month increase from your base rates.
And just so people know, enterprise funds, which they are considered, your electrical, water, and sewer, have to be self-supporting. That's state law.
Right.
Yep.
It has to be that, and the auditors got on our case.
Because we were coming up short. We don't look to make money in these
No.
funds, but to try and get as close as we can to break even with them. It's all user pays for what they're getting, so. And we're doing this, and we may have to increase again. We'll have to see how this comes out for the rest of this year, and then see what our auditors have to say.
Yeah.
And I wish I could just let Diana speak here for a minute on the depreciation part of this and why this stuff goes up.
Certainly. We have to cover depreciation. We've had net losses in our water and sewer enterprise funds for many years. We're not covering depreciation, and our auditors are always on us saying, you have to cover depreciation, you have to be self-sustaining, and the funds are not self-sustaining. So, I mean, we have 30,000 of depreciation for just one fund. The other fund has over 50,000 of depreciation because we have a lot of assets here with all the infrastructure. So, and the depreciation will then also, it also helps us to be able to have money for capital improvements. So we have to
Be able to pay to keep everything up too. We have to have monies to keep up pipes and all of that good stuff as it goes down, so. That's what this is about.
Yeah, I mean, we had a long meeting on this, and we don't want to do this, but we haven't got a choice.
Right.
It's all by law, and we have to do it, and if it's any consolation, we're still cheaper than a lot of places, so.
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
I'll make a motion that we increase our utility rates.
Support.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right. I have a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Support.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. This meeting's adjourned.